Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Local News Live right here on AOC Community Media. We're, of course, on AOC Channel 1, which is Cox 15, LUS 3. You can also stream at aocinc.org/watch, as well as Cypress Street Radio, aocinc.org/CS Radio, and streaming live on our YouTube channel. You can look us up at AOC Community Media. We do this every weekday at 9 o'clock. Reading articles from the Acadiana Advocate, local and state news, and of course led by volunteers. And we have one of our longtime volunteers back in the saddle with us this morning for the first time in a little bit. Susan Richard, thank you so much for joining us this morning and volunteering to be our reader. We appreciate seeing you back. Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to be back.
It's exciting. Yeah. And all from our homes, which is thank you, technology. This is pretty cool.
Yes, I agree. I'm really happy to be able to do it again. So,
well, I'll tell you what, we've got some, a lot of news to cover. So I'm just going to kind of throw it over to you, and I'll keep monitoring us on Cypress Street here on AOC.
Wonderful. Good morning, everyone. So we'll go ahead and get this started. DA Huval won't face charges. Stutes finds no basis for criminal complaint against former LUS director by Claire Taylor. District Attorney Keith Stutes has concluded there is insufficient evidence of a crime to pursue charges against former LUS director Terry Huval. Stutes relayed his conclusions in letters dated August 10th and September 8th to Lafayette Parish Mayor President Josh Guillory and City Parish Attorney Greg Logan. I must advise you that your criminal complaint directed generally at individuals at LUS and LUS Fiber, most notably Terry Huval, is not supported by evidence of criminal intent, Stutes wrote. Jamie Angel, spokesperson for Guillory, said Thursday the mayor president has no comment at this time. On February 7th, 1 month after taking office, Guillory and Logan asked the 15th Judicial District Attorney's Office and State Police to investigate Huval on allegations of destruction of government emails and misappropriation of funds. The administration's allegations were derived from Lafayette Consolidated Government's internal investigations, started by Mayor President Joe Robideau, Guillory's predecessor, into the possible overcharging of LUS and other city parish departments for fiber services to financially prop up LUS fiber operations. State police refused to launch a criminal investigation, Stutes wrote. Some of the allegations the administration made, such as overcharging LUS and other city parish departments, which are possible violations of the Local Government Fair Competition Act and State Public Service Commission rules, are not crimes, Stutes wrote. They are matters for the commission to investigate. Other allegations, such as destroying government documents and malfeasance in office, which could be criminal, were not supported by evidence presented by LCG, Stutes said. I pressed the button and it jumped around. I apologize. Allegations first arose in a 2018 article by Michael Lunsford in the Hayride that LUS divisions, such as wastewater and electric, were overpaying LUS Fiber for internet service, including fiber access to sewer pump stations where the fiber service wasn't even connected. Huval and LCG supposedly investigated and confirmed that the pump stations were not using fiber service. The Local Government Fair Competition Act prohibits LUS Fiber from charging other departments of LUS and LCG more than market rates for internet service, so the local government doesn't have an unfair advantage over private internet providers by overcharging itself to financially prop up its fiber division. LUS, under Robideau, reported the matter to the Public Service Commission, and LUS Fiber repaid LUS about $1.7 million for the overpayments. That revelation put LUS Fiber under scrutiny and led Robideau to create the position of LUS Fiber Director and remove fiber operations from the LUS Director's authority, which played a role in Huval's early retirement in July of 2018. During budget preparations in 2018, Robideau realized Funding in the LUS budget for a costly power outage monitoring service was zeroed out, raising questions about its necessity and payments from LUS Electric to LUS Fiber. In July of 2019, Robideau reported to the Public Service Commission that he believed LUS paid the fiber division $8 million since 2011 for an electric power outage monitoring system that wasn't necessary or financially justified, another alleged violation of the act prohibiting cross subsidies. Robideau's administration launched an internal investigation headed by Chief Administrative Officer Lowell Duhon, whom Robideau appointed director of LUS. When Guillory took over as mayor-president in July, he continued the scrutiny of LUS and in February requested action by Stutes and the state police, alleging LUS employees may have injured public records and committed theft, malfeasance, and criminal mischief. Stutes, in the 15-page August 10th response, said the administration did not provide proof of misappropriation of funds as alleged, nor did LCG report the allegation to the Louisiana Legislative Auditor's Office as required by law or the state attorney general. Regarding the alleged destruction of thousands of Huval's emails, Stutes noted that LCG had recently found backup archive tapes containing hundreds of emails, which may include the so-called missing emails. Even if the allegations of malfeasance in office could be proven, which they have not, Stutes said, it requires proving criminal intent, plus the statute of limitation requires charges to be filed within 4 years. The actions under scrutiny took place in 2015. Allegations of illegal subsidization outlined in December report on the internal investigation headed by Duhon is an administrative or civil issue for the Public Service Commission, not a criminal matter, Stutes wrote. Documents and emails, he wrote, suggest Huval did not alone decide on fees LUS Fiber charged other departments. Administrators, attorneys, and auditors were aware of the prices and did not object, he said. The charges in question were paid not as directed by any one person, but by the collective administrative and legislative discretion of the mayor, president, and council of LCG, Stutes wrote in the September 8th letter. Stutes said he requested and received in September additional emails dating to 2011 and interviewed the independent auditor. I am now even more convinced that your complaint continues to be driven by opinions and conclusions only that crimes have been committed and those you accuse are guilty, Stutes wrote. The evidence received and reviewed, however, suggests the contrary. Stutes suggested the city parish should advocate on behalf of LUS and LUS Fiber because if the Public Service Commission finds a violation occurred, it may have serious economic consequences to LUS, LUS Fiber, LCG, and or the city of Lafayette. The position taken by your complaint would appear to be a conflict of interest contrary to your responsibility to represent the best interest of LCG and or the city of Lafayette, Stutes wrote. Oh my goodness, y'all, I think I need more coffee. Oh, all right. Moving on, 10 UL Greeks test positive for the virus. Members of 2 sororities, 1 fraternity following school protocol, staff report. The University of Louisiana at Lafayette revealed Thursday that 7 members of 2 sororities and 3 members of a fraternity have tested positive for the coronavirus. They mark the first cases that can be linked to Greek organizations on campus, UL spokesperson Eric Moran said. We're not sure if they are in Greek housing, he said, adding that only a few people are in Greek housing. Most just gather at the houses. Those who tested positive followed university protocols and self-reported their illnesses. They were in isolation, the university said in a prepared statement. 23 other sorority members were in quarantine, UL said, identified as having had close contact with the infected sorority members. In its statement, the university said contact tracing was underway. Student Health Services would notify anyone determined to have been in close contact with a positive individual and will provide them with further instructions. UL is providing free on-campus testing for members of both sororities and the fraternity. It was continuing to follow guidance from the Louisiana Department of Health. As an additional precaution, all student organizations were being restricted to virtual-only activities for 2 weeks. In accordance with federal and state laws, UL will not identify which organizations are involved and cannot discuss details about individual cases. The cases will be added to the university's public COVID-19 dashboard once they are confirmed through documentation submitted by the affected individuals. University officials encourage students, faculty, and staff members to take advantage of free on-campus COVID-19 testing available from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. through Monday through Friday at Cypress Lake Plaza at the intersection of Hebrard Boulevard and Boucher Street, or Butcher Street, however you want to pronounce it, depending on where you're from. Participants should register on the campus website, print the voucher, and bring it with them to their appointment. In addition, members of the university community should continue to monitor their health daily, and if they have symptoms such as fever, cough, or shortness of breath, stay home and seek medical attention. Wear a mask or face covering when on campus. Keep at least 6 feet of distance between themselves and others. Avoid congregating. Cover their mouths and noses with tissue when coughing and sneezing, and discard used tissues. Wash their hands for 20 seconds using soap and water. Clean and disinfect frequently touched surface. Visit louisiana.edu/COVID-19 for resources related to UL's continuing response to COVID-19. All righty. Here's another one. I hope you guys are ready. All right. Program offers tech help to students. Internet service provided for homes by Katie Gagliano. Lafayette Parish School families seeking help with password reset troubles, internet connectivity, and navigating the technical challenges of learning at home have a new resource to consult for help. The Link and Learn Help Desk is a partnership between the Lafayette Parish School System and the Love Our Schools technology initiative, Link and Learn. The Link and Learn program brokers deals with local internet providers for low-cost internet service and funds academic internet access in qualifying homes. Jennifer Gardner, School System Chief Administrative Officer, said details on the latter are forthcoming. Students who attend a community eligibility provisional school or who qualify for free or reduced price lunch and have not had internet since July will be considered for the program, she said. Ryan Domingo, CEO of the William C. Schumacher Family Foundation, said the Link and Learn initiative grew out of months of meetings with the school system and over 100 community stakeholders. Internet connectivity and device access and use were immediately identified as core issues that could create barriers to learning. What happens when these families need help? What happens when 32,000 kids and their families decide they don't know how to use Zoom? Or they don't know what Ingenuity is, or they're not sure of how to connect to the Wi-Fi, Domingo said. Love Our Schools saw an opportunity to leverage their partnerships to address those questions and others, he said. CGI, a global information technology company with offices in Lafayette, spearheaded establishing the help desk, consulting on software options, personalizing the platform, and compiling information on the website. I can't stress enough that this is exactly what Love Our Schools was designed to do. It was to bring the community into the school system to help create solutions, to provide resources, and to help the school system crawl out of the academic hole that the state has dug itself into over the last decade, Domingo said. Students and adults can access the help desk via helpdesk.lpssonline.com or by calling 337-273-0755 between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Each Chromebook distributed to the students was pasted with a sticker and details about the help desk. The help desk website is outfitted with tip sheets, instructions, and facts broken down by topic from Chromebook care to checking attendance on Pathblazer, said Lindsay Keeley, technology supervisor for the school district. Visitors can search the tip sheets for answers before submitting either an online help request form or calling the helpline. On the help sheet, the student or parent will be prompted to provide the student's email address, the name of the student's base school, and a description of the problem, with the option to attach a file or photo showcasing the problem, she said. The website has a landing page that houses all help requests so students and parents can see which tickets are active, Keeley said. Domingo said 796 phone calls and 142 online ticket submissions were handled by the help desk since it launched last week. That is a lot of phone calls, y'all. With an average wait time of only 2 minutes and 14 seconds for assistance and an average call time of 5 minutes. Of the 938 help requests, 95% have been resolved, he said. Keeley said popular topics included assistance with student passwords, which were reset for the new school year, and questions about Lafayette Online Academy. Any academic questions about the program were referred back to the student's base school, she said. Gardner said school system staff members are running to the help desk remotely. Each school has volunteered at least one staff member for a minimum of 6 hours a week to man the help desk. Each help desk worker received training on how to take calls and troubleshoot problems, she said. We're really glad we're able to support our students in that way, not just handing it over to the call center. They're ours, and we want our family to know we believe in this, and so we're going to support it, she said. Thank goodness for teachers and staff. We love you guys. Y'all are amazing. Okay, and love our schools. Yay. All right, so feds kick in $10 million for revitalization project. Total investment in North Lafayette corridor near $70 million. Staff report. All right, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee really quick. I felt I should announce that, so you didn't hear me sipping. Okay, so the Federal Department of Transportation is providing $10 million to finish the final 2 phases of the University Avenue Improvement Project in North Lafayette. U.S. Senator Bill Cassidy's office announced. The grant money will fund construction of a multimodal corridor along North University Avenue with the goals of reducing congestion, increasing safety, and improving access to nearby neighborhoods, according to a news release. Lafayette Consolidated Government has already spent $7.3 million on the project. The grant is the culmination of a multi-year planning process that began with a resident-led Better Block Four Corners event in 2016. Better Block Four Corners was a partnership among the Bridge Ministry, Townfolk, and the Laplace Coterie. It was designed to show what a revitalized University Avenue corridor at Four Corners could look like from the perspective of those who live there. In 2017, LCG was awarded a $500,000 urban systems planning grant from the Acadiana Metropolitan Planning Organization to conduct a corridor study to improve safety and to help revitalize University Avenue from its intersection at Four Corners North to its intersection with Interstate 10. Additional community meetings were conducted at Bridge Ministry and other neighborhood sites where the residents gave their vision for the revitalized corridor. Recommendations from the corridor study resulted in the creation of both a state cultural district and the formation of the University Economic Development District. At the same time as the transportation corridor planning effort, the Acadiana Planning Commission was awarded a $300,000 assessment grant for the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to identify and assess potential brownfield sites along the same corridor. These joint planning efforts attracted HRI to invest and develop the block that contained the LUS Pay Motel in the historic Lafayette Coca-Cola bottling plant. The resulting $37 million investment has resulted in the demolition of the blighted LUS Pay property and will result in the creation of 110 units of workforce housing with a leasing preference for working artists. The total cost of the University Avenue corridor improvements is expected to be over $30 million, according to the City Council member, Pat Lewis, whose District 1 includes the area. The combined committed investment to date along the University Avenue corridor approaches $70 million, a historic level for North Lafayette, Lewis said in a prepared statement. All right. Acadiana Drive-In events are postponed by Adam Daigle, Acadiana business editor. Events scheduled for the opening weekend of the Acadiana Drive-In this weekend have been pushed back until next month. Officials with the Cajun Dome and Social Entertainment said 2 recent hurricanes have resulted in event production and supply delays. The revised schedule will now include showings of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark on October 17th and live concert with Ray Boudreaux and others on October 23rd. The Chubby Carrier and guest concert scheduled for Sunday has not been rescheduled. Tickets for that event will be refunded. Those who bought tickets to this weekend's events can either use them for the next month or get a refund. Event goers can enjoy the entertainment from their car or sit outside their vehicle in their designated tailgate spots. Cars will be directed to park at assigned spaces, creating a safe distance from others. Okay. Payments demanded from jobless, a mistake. State blames computer programming error. All right. By Mark Ballard, Capitol Bureau editor. The Louisiana Workforce Commission sent out about 7,600 notices to recently unemployed people demanding they pony up sometimes tens of thousands of dollars in overpaid benefits. But it was a big mistake. Incorrectly programmed computers had miscalculated benefits for about 3,000 people, and the demands were automatically sent out, Commission Director Ava DeJoey said Thursday. I apologize, she added. Workforce Commission computer technicians spent Thursday reworking the programs to properly calculate the amounts paid in unemployment benefits and the amount, if any, needing to be repaid to the state. Most of the people notified they had been overpaid will be informed by Friday that they actually owe nothing. The work should be done by Thursday night, Joey said. Those affected by the mistake filed for unemployment benefits on March 29th and 30th, she said. The notices were automatically generated on September 9th and 10th. It was not a normal week at LWC, DeJoey said. The week before, Governor John Bel Edwards had issued his March 22nd stay-at-home directive aimed at curbing the fast spread of COVID-19. The order also closed non-essential businesses, restaurants, and bars. Thousands were thrown out of work more than ever before. About 97,000 people filed for unemployment benefits, she said. Before COVID-19, 2,000 claims would be a busy week. The Workforce Commission was trying to get the unemployment benefits out to the unemployed as fast as possible, she said, and didn't notice the glitch in the vendor's programming. The vendor, Geographic Solution, is a Palm Harbor, Florida software company specializing in workforce software. DeJoey said the commission should have noted the anomaly. Determining benefits is somewhat complex under the best of circumstances. Generally, benefits are calculated on wages employers report taxes were paid. Minimum wages of $1,200 on which employers pay taxes, is sent to the state every quarter. For an applicant to qualify for unemployment, employers need to report pay for 2 quarters, a 3-month period during the previous 5 quarters, a year, and 3 months. For those filing on March 29th to 30th, which is the end of the first quarter, the programming mistake added another quarter, shifting the eligibility period and opening applicants to benefits for which they were not qualified. But they were eligible once the flaw was corrected. DeJoy said most of those affected won't have to pay anything. A few, however, may still owe the state money. Overpayments are fairly common. It is important to note that this is standard operating procedure for unemployment insurance divisions across the country and not just limited to claim assistance during this pandemic, she said. State law, for instance, requires additional income such as severance and holiday pay be deducted from unemployment payments. DeJoy said she found a lot of confusion over the Paycheck Protection Program, which gave loans to businesses to retain employees under the federal coronavirus relief package Congress passed in March. If they received PPP that week, then that week they should have not drawn unemployment, she said. She said she understands how confusing the rules are. A lot of people drew unemployment for the same time and are unaware of all the rules. State law allows leniency in the return for the overpayment benefits. Yeah. We have very flexible payment plans, DeJoy said. The Workforce Commission also has established an email inbox exclusively for these overpayment related issues. Additional questions about the adjustment notice can be sent to I'm going to spell it out for you guys. septissue@lwc.la.gov. Yeah. That's an interesting email address right there. I mean, not easy at all to remember. Okay. Okay, so, once again in Louisiana news, the Louisiana unemployment claims have declined by Kristen Mosbrucker. Both new and existing state unemployment claims declined last week, with 16,182 claims filed and 250,244 traditionally employed residents receiving continuing jobless benefits in the state. Reflecting more typical claims, only 1,806 first-time claims were filed at the same time last year, with only 14,794 continuing claims being paid out, according to the Louisiana Workforce Commission. There were 1,576 out-of-state new unemployment claims, since many Louisiana residents are still evacuated to Texas and other states after Hurricane Laura raced up the western side of Louisiana nearly 3 weeks ago. Another 7,564 new unemployment claims were not paid for by the state, but through the federal Pandemic Unemployment Assistance Fund, and 135,466 non-traditional workers are getting federal benefits in Louisiana. Constructor sector layoffs led to the new unemployment claims for the first time since the coronavirus pandemic and its related economic recession began in late March, with 2,200 workers who told the state they did not have a job. About 2,513 people who live in hurricane-stricken Calcasieu Parish, which includes Lake Charles, filed initial unemployment claims last week, the largest unemployment cluster in the state by parish. Each Baton Rouge parish had 1,186 new unemployment claims, while Orleans Parish had 1,140 new claims. The population of Calcasieu Parish is about 200,000 residents, compared to East Baton Rouge Parish's more than twice that figure. The second largest industry for new unemployment claims were accommodation and food services, 2,189, followed by 2,189 in arts, entertainment, and recreation, 2,133 tied to jobs not yet classified by industry, and 1,687 from retail. For those who were already unemployed and continuing to receive benefit accommodations, and food service was the largest industry cluster with 56,160 claims, followed by retail trade of 28,245, healthcare and social assistance 25,652, and construction at 23,052. As of September 9th, there was $138 million in the State Unemployment Trust Fund, down from $1 billion at the beginning of the year. Whew. The Louisiana Workforce Commission filed paperwork to potentially receive a federal Title 11 loan, which can be borrowed for 0% interest, but it's unclear when the money may be received. By the end of September, the Revenue Estimating Conference is expected to determine whether employers may face a higher unemployment tax burden and claimants may see lower benefits in January. The unemployment fund has fallen to a level that would automatically trigger higher wage taxes on businesses starting in January to help replenish the fund. The same trigger would also reduce the maximum of $247 unemployment workers receive weekly to $221 in January. Even if the funds run dry, unemployed workers would still get payments because the state is required to keep paying eligible claims. Wow. It's just interesting. I didn't know all that. Didn't know. Okay. Today in the Acadiana area for our funerals, Miss Dorothy Bryant services are at 10 a.m. today at Fountain Memorial Cemetery. Ms. Deborah Johnson services at First Baptist Church of Krotz Springs at 1 p.m. And Ms. Julie Reagan at La Chapelle de Martin at Castile in Lafayette at 1 p.m. All right, we're at 9:31 a.m. Today in history. By the Associated Press. Today is Friday, September 18th, the 262nd day of 2020, and there are 104 days left in the year. Y'all, we made it past the half point. We can do it. Okay. Today's highlight in history. On September 18th of 1850, Congress passed the Fugitive Slave Act, which created a force of federal commissioners charged with returning escaped slaves to their owners. On this date, in 1759, the French formally surrendered Quebec to Britain. In 1793, President George Washington laid the cornerstone of the U.S. Capitol. In 1927, the Columbia Phonograph Broadcasting System, later CBS, made its on-air debut with a basic network of 16 radio stations. In 1947, the National Security Act, which created a national military establishment and the position of Secretary of Defense, went into effect. In 1959, during the U.S. tour, Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev visited Wall Street, the Empire State Building, and the grave of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. In a speech to the UN General Assembly, Khrushchev called on all countries to disarm. In 1975, newspaper heiress Patricia Hearst was captured by the FBI in San Francisco, 19 months after being kidnapped by the Symbionese Liberation Army. In 2001, a week after the September 11th attack, President George W. Bush said he hoped to rally the world in the battle against terrorism and predicted that all people who love freedom would join. Letters postmarked Trenton, New Jersey, that later tested positive for anthrax were sent to the New York Post and NBC anchorman Tom Brokaw. In 2007, O.J. Simpson was charged with 7 felonies, including kidnapping in the alleged armed robbery of sports memorabilia collectors in a Las Vegas casino hotel room. Simpson, sentenced to 9 to 33 years in prison, was released on parole in September of 2017. In 2014, voters in Scotland rejected independence, opting to remain part of the United Kingdom in a historic referendum. 10 years ago, despite Taliban rocket strikes and bombings, Afghans voted for a new parliament in the first election since the Fomared ballot cast doubt on the legitimacy of the embattled governments. 5 years ago, the Environmental Protection Agency said Volkswagen had intentionally skirted clean air laws by using software that enabled about 500,000 of its diesel cars to emit fewer smog-causing pollutants during the testing than in real-world driving conditions. The EPA ordered VW to fix the cars at its own expense. 1 year ago, President Donald Trump named Robert O'Brien, his chief hostage negotiator, as his new national security advisor. O'Brien became the fourth person in 2 years to hold the job. Today's birthdays. Y'all, yesterday was my birthday. Just saying. Okay, so today's birthdays. Singer Jimmie Rodgers is 87. Actor Robert Blake is 87. Gospel singer Bobby Jones is 82. Singer Frankie Avalon is 80. Yay, Frankie Avalon. Actor Beth Grant is 71. Rock and roll Carrie Livgren is 71. Actor Anna Deviere Smith is 70. The U.S. Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Ben Carson, is 69. Basketball Hall of Fame coach Rick Pitino, 68. College Football Hall of Famer and retired NFL player Billy Sims is 65. Hall of Famer Ryan Sandberg is 61. Alternative country rock musician Mark Olson's 59. Actor Holly Robinson Peete is 56. Rhythm and blues singer Ricky Bell from Bell Biv DeVoe and New Edition is 53. Yeah. Actor Aisha Tyler is 50. Former racing cyclist Lance Armstrong is 49. Opera singer Anna is 49. Actor Jada Pinkett Smith is 49. Actor James Marsden is 47. Emily Rutherford is 46. Actor Travis Schultz is 46. Rapper Exhibit is 46. Comedian actor Jason Sudeikis is 45. And Safina Brown is 44. All right, so from the birthdays comes the zodiac. All right, guys. So if you're a Virgo like me, here we go from August 23rd to September 22nd. If you mix business with pleasure, you'll improve your work relationships. Being a good listener will put you in a favorable position for advancement. Use your knowledge wisely. Woo, y'all. Maybe my coffee might be kicking in. Who knows? Libras, September 23rd through October 23rd. Check your emotions at the door when dealing with domestic matters. Expect to face uncertainty and opposition, but don't let that deter you from being using your powers to get your way. So Libras, use that power. Scorpios, from October 24th through November 22nd. Pay closer attention to your health and emotional well-being. Stop procrastinating when it comes to personal paperwork you've let linger too long. A push for change is in your best interest. Sagittarius, from November 23rd through December 21st. Connect with your colleagues. Mix business with pleasure to get to know your peers better. A commitment to a loved one will lead to long-term plans and greater happiness. Sounds like the Virgos and Sagittarius need to hang out in those workspaces. Okay, Capricorns, from December 22nd to January 19th. Watch what you say. If you reveal your opinions, likes, and dislikes, it will give someone the upper hand. Take in information rather than dish it out. Knowledge is power. Aquarius, January 20th through February 19th. Contracts, agreements, and prospects require your attention. Make adjustments to protect your interests and future. Romance will help seal a deal. Pisces, February 20th through March 20th. Call in favors, offer help, and align yourself with people you feel comfortable working alongside. A change of methods will help determine who is the best fit to assist you on a project. Aries, March 21st through April 19th. Pay attention to how you present yourself. Show interest in what others do, and you will gain an ally as well as respect. Get help if you need it. Taurus, April 20th through May 20th. Keep life simple. If you try to do too much, you will lose sight of your goal. Enlist the help of people you know you can trust, and you will accomplish what you set out to do. Geminis, May 21st through June 20th. Learn from experience and watch your back. Don't expect others to come through for you or take on your burdens. Moderation is encouraged. Cancer. An incident will lead to an inability to agree with someone close to you. Joint ventures will not unfold the way you want them to. Reconsider your priorities. And Leos, from July 23rd to August 22nd. Spend more time taking care of personal and family matters. If you have a heart-to-heart talk with a friend or relative, you will be able to sort out any differences you face. Love and romance are featured and will enhance your life. Oh, that's awesome. Yay. All right, so we're going back into the state news. Okay, so photos fuel concerns over in-custody death of Black man in Louisiana by Justin Mustian, Associated Press. Graphic photos that surfaced online this week appear to show deep bruises on the face of a Black man who died following a police chase in Louisiana last year, raising new questions about whether his injuries were caused by the crash that ended the chase or an ensuing struggle with state troopers. Separately, the family of 49-year-old Robert Green released images of the SUV involved in the May 2019 crash, showing that the vehicle appeared to have sustained only minor damage to its driver's side. I'm not sure what that was, but fueled calls for state police to release a body cam footage of the chase, and what the agency recently acknowledged was a struggle to take Green into custody after he drove off the road in rural northern Louisiana near Monroe. State police have declined to release the video or comment on the photos due to ongoing investigation of Green's death. These photos are atrocious, said Eugene W. Collins, president of the Baton Rouge branch of the NAACP, who posted images of Green's body on his Facebook page. We have to believe that from day one, the Louisiana State Police were not honest with the public. The two graphic photos, which appear to have been taken in a medical setting and show apparent bruises and cuts to Green's face and scalp, have previously been shared on social media by his family. Attorneys for Green's family say it was not immediately clear where the photos came from, but that they were consistent with the injuries identified in the independent autopsies they commissioned. Portions of it provided to the Associated Press describe blunt force injuries to the head, face, facial lacerations, abrasions, contusions, and multiple scalp lacerations. Green's death, which the AP reported this week is now under federal investigation, has drawn new attention in recent months amid a national reckoning about racial inequality and police misconduct. Green's family led a federal wrongful death lawsuit in May, alleging troopers brutalized Green, used a stun gun on him 3 times, and left him beaten, bloodied, and in cardiac arrest before covering up his actual cause of death. While more than a year has passed since the crash, the Louisiana State Police have offered no public accounting of what caused Green's death. A single-page police report released by the agency says the May 10th, 2019 police pursuit ended with when Green crashed his vehicle. Green was taken into custody after resisting arrest and a struggle with troopers, the report says, adding Green became unresponsive and died on the way to the hospital. A crash report obtained by the AP says Green failed to stop for an unspecific traffic violation and later drove off the road into a ditch, striking a mailbox and a culvert. The vehicle later struck a shrub tree next to a private drive. The crash report, which state police say is now itself part of the investigation, says Green was not wearing a seatbelt and does not mention any use of force by troopers. Green's family has said the authorities initially told them Green died in the crash, but they began questioning the narrative after examining his body and the relatively minor damage to the vehicle. We were told that he died in a high-speed chase of head injuries after crashing into a tree. There was no major damage to the car. The family's lawsuit says that Green was taken to a nearby hospital and quotes an emergency room doctor who says law enforcement told him that Green had been involved in a fight after the chase. Green's death was ruled accidental and attributed to cardiac arrest, said Renee Smith, the Union Parish coroner, who was not in the office when the determination was made. Smith said her office's file on Green attributed his death to a car crash and makes no mention of struggle with the state police. All right, moving on to sports, y'all. Whoop, whoop. 9 Cajuns players won't make the trip. Program has some positive coronavirus tests, by Kevin Foote. And taking another sip. All right. If it already wasn't finished after Coach Billy Napier's speech at Sunday night's team gathering, the celebration after UL's upset of number 23 Iowa State has subdued with the news 9 Cajuns won't be making the trip to Georgia this weekend because of COVID-19 testing. Napier said all 9 aren't positive tests. The total is a combination of positive tests and contact tracing. Our streak has ended, Napier said. We did have a handful of people that won't be with us. Some of those were Friday of last week and then some this week. A handful of players will be out. Napier declined to give a list of players, but the athletic department did supply an updated depth chart for Saturday's 11 a.m. Sunbelt Conference opener at Georgia State on ESPN2. Comparing it to the original depth chart, there only appeared to be 3 names of note for UL fans. The only starter missing is junior cornerback A.J. Washington, who had an interception and a critical pass breakup on 4th down in the win over Iowa State. The other 2 missing from the updated depth chart are freshman defensive lineman Sonny Hazard and junior backup quarterback Jaeve Magalay. Hazard played but didn't record a tackle in Ames, Iowa. Magalay did not play. I think the big thing is our medical team continues to do an outstanding job, Napier said. This is reality. Every team in America is dealing with these parameters. We're confident that the safety of our team is being handled in a first-class manner. Napier does not believe any positive test came up from the Iowa trip. Napier said the team has an alternate safety protocol since training camp, which produced 0 positive tests. In Iowa, the team utilized twice as many tables in the ballroom for meals, with half as many players at each table. Additional buses and larger planes were taken to ensure social distancing. Locker room and training tables are done in shifts. There are percentage capacity rules for all meeting rooms, and roommates are chosen with COVID-19 measures in mind. Then there's young men and their teenagers, Napier said. Reality is they're going to make some bad decisions at times, as simple as going to pick up drive-through and eating together in the car. That's not a good decision, right? That would be an example of a costly mistake on our part. Things like that cost us at this point. We've got to continue to learn. We've got to continue to stay focused and realize that this is part of the rules. If you're a competitor, you want to do everything you can to win. You've got to make decisions relative to COVID-19 to win. On paper, the biggest loss in Washington at cornerback, sophomore Mekhi Gardner, is listed as the starter in place of Washington. We're excited about the young corners, Mekhi Gardner being one of them, Napier said. He played in 4 games at the end of the year last year. He has really practiced well as of late. He's been very competitive. I think it's important to Mekhi. He's a guy that wants to be loyal. He wants to be dependable for his teammates. And I think he's chomping at the bits for the opportunity to play more and have a bigger role. Junior Jaron Wilson continues to serve as backup at both cornerback spots, and freshman Trey Amos figures to get even more playing time Saturday after seeing the field in Ames. You'll also see Trey Amos over there, Napier said. Trey's a young man who played in the opener, and he's a guy that continued to develop and continued to learn that position. Coach Lamar Morgan has done a terrific job with our corners, not only technically on the field, but leading them as men as well. Meanwhile, Magalay Magalay's void will be filled by redshirt freshman Chandler Fields behind starter Levi Lewis. Napier has said throughout training camp that it was a dead heat battle for the backup quarterback spot. With Hazard out on the defensive line, sophomore Kendall Wilkerson returns to the depth chart. The depth on the defense line has never been questioned since camp started. In other words, the biggest concern football-wise is how the shorthanded secondary will handle Georgia State talented wide receiving core, which has 4 of its 5 most productive receivers back from last year. I think they're one of the more talented groups in the league, not only the returning players, but they've got a little slot that played 2 years ago that's got legitimate track speed. And of course, Napier is rarely a head coach who passes up the opportunity to teach from such a situation. That's a challenge for our team. He said, work with the future in mind. Don't compromise for that instant gratification and have the attitude and understanding the big picture wise that respect is earned over time. You've got to work to do that by individually leading our own lives well, and the collective effort of our team will do good things. Yeah. All right. Louisiana, new heights. Louisiana native Duplantis breaks pole vault outdoor world record by the Associated Press. In Rome, pole vaulter Armand Duplantis broke Sergei Bubka's 26-year-old outdoor world record on Thursday. Duplantis cleared 6.15 meters, 20 feet 2 inches, at the Golden Gala Pietro Miania meet in Rome, with his second attempt besting Bubka's mark of 6.14, 20 feet, 1.5 inches set in Sistri in July of 1994. A world record, finally, is so cool, Duplantis said. I wanted to get over these 6.15 so badly. Everybody kept talking about it. It was a big chip on my shoulder. When I did it, it was more relief than joy. The 20-year-old Duplantis came agonizingly close on his first attempt before clearing the bar on his second. It is crazy, Duplantis said. It's been a long time coming. Coming into the season, we did not know if we would be able to compete at all. This world record is really unexpected, and I am very grateful. All right. So let's see. We're going to go into a couple of PSAs, okay, before our time is cut, because, we're getting there. We're getting there. All right, guys. So requests for mosquito control. Now available through Lafayette 311, mosquito prevention and safety. So PSA, Lafayette Consolidated Government is increasing mosquito abatement efforts in Lafayette Parish following the hurricane. Increased in mosquito activity is common occurrence. Citizens noticing an influx in mosquitoes in their area can call Lafayette 311 portal to request service. All submitted requests are routed directly to mosquito control and a mosquito control contractor for the parish. The downtown's Toot and Scoot shrimp boil is only a week away. This fundraiser for downtown Lafayette is presented by Moss BMW and will serve shrimp and beverages Toot and Scoot style on the street surrounding Park San Souci. This is a drive-through pickup party and offers a live DJ, DJ Digital, a mobile O-Snap photo booth, and the chance to rip tails and enjoy a live stream pickup experience with other lovers of downtown Lafayette. Tickets for the boil include 1 pound of premium jumbo shrimp with all the fixins and beverages, including soda, wine, and beer. For more information, contact Maureen Dugas-Foster, Director of Downtown Lafayette, at maureen@downtownlafayette.org. I only have like 2 minutes. AOC teams up with the United Way of Acadiana for Learn United. The United Way of Acadiana has teamed up with the AOC and other local educational groups for Learn United, bridging the digital gap to provide educational resources for households that don't have internet but do have a television. The Learn United program airs weekdays from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. on AOC2, Cox 16, LUS 4, and streaming at aocinc.org/watch for the daily schedules and to submit content for the program. Visit United Way of Acadiana website at unitedwayofacadiana.org/learn-united. Keep calm through the COVID hotline. If you're feeling overwhelmed with stress, fear, and anxiety about uncertainty, surrounding the public health emergency, there's special Keeping Calm Through COVID hotline you can call. This connects you to trained, compassionate counselors who can offer support and who can direct you to mental health and substance abuse counselors. Trained counselors are available 24/7 and all calls are confidential. Call 1-866-310-7977 if you need those resources. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Okay? And we are now at our 9:55 mark. So let's see. I think Mandy's coming back on, but maybe not. Maybe I should read more. Or I could just talk to you guys about how awesome you are for hanging out with me and listening to me, talk about the news.
All the mic buttons back on.
There she is.
This was great. Fantastic. Thank you so much for reading the news for us this morning, Susan. We appreciate it so much. So hopefully we'll see you back in, maybe occasionally once a week or when you're up for it. So
I am down. I'm ready.
Way awesome. Well, listen, you can catch this program every weekday at 9:00 right here on AOC. We do it Monday through Friday. Reading articles up from the Acadiana Advocate. If you're interested in becoming a reader, send us an email, info@aocinc.org, and we'd love to tell you more about the program. Thanks again, Susan. We're going to close things out and let William close things out on the channel, and we'll see you back here on Monday.
Y'all have a great day.